Oh my God, now that the government has admitted it, you know it must be true. UFO hearing at Congress. Oh my God, a whistleblower, and he's a general. Oh my God, we got to take this serious, right? No, he's a major, retired Major David Grush. Highly anticipated testimony before the the House Oversight Subcommittee was Congress's last foray into the world of unidentified aerial phenomenon. And he said that there might be life out there. Wow, whatever could they be hiding? Don't know for sure, but oh man, the evil Orange Man, we have another round of indictments because Orange Man's really bad and he was the only person that ever sat in a high office. Oh man, he was the first guy to really do some screwy stuff with some classified documents. This is just, I cannot believe this. And it doesn't look suspicious at all. New indictment from Biden DOJ says Trump ordered surveillance tapes deleted. Charges Mar-a-Lago maintenance man in seized documents case. Oh no, this definitely doesn't look like somebody else who's being drugged into a very superficial, very light on evidence case in order to get somebody to flip on Trump in order to throw him in jail and disqualify him from the presidency, which can't really do depending on the way that you interpret the Constitution. The 14th Amendment isn't really as concrete as a lot of people want it to be, because that would take an interpretation, and then this entire election cycle that the Democrats are just desperately hoping doesn't come around would get thrown into such a level of chaos that it would make the Civil War look like a game of jacks. No, this truly isn't just a big old smokescreen up top, right? But let's at least look into this, because spoilers, I don't believe anything that the government says now at this point in time. I need it verified before I even believe it. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. That's basically what I'm at this point in time. Biden's DOJ indictment against Donald Trump just saw new charges added from special counsel Jack Smith on Thursday. Reminder, Jack Smith has never won a case, saying that Trump and his aides sought to have surveillance footage deleted so it couldn't be turned over to a grand jury. Aha, he didn't turn over some surveillance footage, ergo, he deleted it. Maybe it just didn't exist. How about that? These new charges allege that Trump held onto sensitive military secrets he knew shouldn't have retained access to, shared them with others, and directed his staff to help him evade authorities' efforts to get them back. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Additionally, a maintenance worker at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate has been named as a third defendant in the former president's seized documents case, probably because Walt isn't flipping on Trump because he knows that there's nothing wrong there. But if they get a low-level maintenance worker, well, guess what? And that's more likely to flip. Charles de Oliveira was charged by President Biden's Department of Justice with making false statements during an interview with the FBI in connection with alleged mishandling of the classified materials. You listen to anybody opine on a situation such as this, the easiest thing that they can snatch you up for is making false statements. You slip up on wording. You don't even intend to lie. It's just a misstatement of maybe time or place, and they can nail you with making false statements. That's what's happening right here. It's just like, what's her nuts there? Cassidy Hutchinson during the January 6th House investigation, when he said, well, I heard that Trump grabbed the wheel of the beast, that he would just try to fight it in order to go to the Capitol. When in actuality, none of that stuff ended up happening. But she had some weasel words in there. They could have charged her with perjury because, okay, you heard that stuff? Well, it didn't happen. You can go into a much more thorough investigation because her testimony was under oath. It was supposed to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or at least what you interpret to be the truth. And if she was telling that stuff, it's verifiably false. Trump was not in the beast, the decked out presidential limo that he had. He was not in it at the time. You're a liar. You're a liar, dude. No. She's a woman. She's a cute woman. You don't go after her for things like that. Come on now. According to the Wall Street Journal, the charges against de Oliveira were brought by the DOJ following a meeting between Trump's lawyers and special counsel Jack Smith Thursday morning. Until then, only Trump and his personal aide, Walt Nauta, had been charged. Both men have stated that they are not guilty. As CNN reports, de Oliveira is alleged to have helped Nauta move boxes around Mar-a-Lago after the DOJ first subpoenaed Trump for his handling of classified documents in May of 2022. Very interesting. So now, late in the game, very late in the investigation, which Jack Smith is still trying to find evidence for. interesting it takes them that long to charge a third person for how many hundreds of people work at Mar-a-Lago, but you can only find one other person. All right, totally believe you in this situation. But then also you're doing the investigation into January 6th, which also is looking like that's going to end in an indictment. That's very tough to say, or at least articulate. Okay, so forgive me. He has all this time to do all this stuff. It's almost like he's out there in the parking lot trying to kick up dust and go, hey, look, smoke, and where there's smoke, there's fire. One new count of willful retention of national defense information was filed against Trump. In addition, the trio were hit with 2 new counts of obstruction for allegedly attempt. Yeah, okay, this is just RICO tactics in order to make it seem like, oh, see, you were trying to further something in accordance with the Trump criminal empire, so we can charge you all with the same. Like, it's just total fucking cap. Complete bullshit. And yeah, D'Oliveira is expected to appear in court on July 31st. Fantastic. I guess we'll hear more about that stuff next week. But why is all this stuff happening right now? Because this is really small fries. Okay, the UFO shit, that one, obviously, that's been a big bugaboo in everybody's ear for a long time. Is there life that's out there? Yeah, probably. Is there a high degree of likeliness that it's interacted with the Earth at some form or fashion? Yeah, I don't really know at this point in time. Maybe, like, I'm sure, like, it would be absolutely ridiculous if Earth was the only planet to have sentient life on it in the entire universe. Like, I don't really think that has a high probability. But is there, a high-level, high-functioning society that's out there that has the ability to make contact with Earth? I find that a little bit dubious. And especially now that the government's confirmed, or at least made vague assertions that, oh, maybe there's something out there. Maybe we are investigating it. I don't know what's behind these doors. It leads me to believe that they're just trying to cover some stuff up. Oh, like one of the biggest Democratic donors that's out there and may or may not have been helping the Biden administration launder money to Ukraine and then back through FTX. They just go ahead and drop some charges against them, specifically the ones in the realm of campaign finance. You guys might remember good old Sam Bankman-Fried. He was the CEO and one of the Democrat wonderkins that if you just go out there and check it back in the cut, all the big Democratic lawmakers were just lauding as the second coming of Warren Buffett. Oh, hey. Somebody who gave, how many hundreds of millions of dollars to the Democrats all of a sudden gets campaign finance charges dropped. Yep, this gets buried because Trump's back in the news and UFOs. Yeah, exactly. Nothing shady about this at all. And then couple that with Hunter Biden revelations. Like, come on, man. You can't make it more obvious that if you have a D affixed to the end of the name and you're in with the right people, you get a certain level of treatment while everybody else gets to suffer. U.S. Department of Justice informed a federal judge late Wednesday it did not intend to proceed with the campaign finance charge against disgraced FTX founder and Democrat superdonor Sam Bankman-Fried. Consultation with the Bahamas on campaign finance charges in Sam Bankman-Fried's original extradition document last year were behind the decision as part of the effort to adhere to the legal obligations therein. Forbes reports. The campaign finance violation charge was among 8 counts present in the DOJ's original indictment, which includes wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering in December. Yeah, this came through at the end of last year, but then right at the beginning of the year, he was arraigned and he was supposed to have his hearing in Manhattan, but he was also allowed to get bail and then go live with his parents in Southern California. It's like, Jesus Christ, can you make this more of a farce? It's like, oh, we got him, guys. We've got to hold ourselves accountable. It's like, yeah, until we actually got to it. And it's like, nah, don't worry about it. And the filing addressed to New York federal judge Lewis Kaplan. The Bahamas did not include an 8th charge in the original indictment. Sorry, what? It was reported that it was in there, but now you're telling us that we just kind of made it up. Don't worry about it. Campaign finance violation in its extradition treaty. The government has been informed that Bahamas notified the United States earlier today that the Bahamas did not intend to extradite the defendant on the campaign contributions count. Accordingly, in keeping with its treaty obligations to the Bahamas, yeah, I'm sure that this has been blanketly enforced whenever you've required an extradition beforehand, I would imagine. Accordingly, in keeping with its treaty obligations to the Bahamas, the government does not intend to proceed to trial on the campaign contributions count. The notice came hours after the hearing over Bankman-Fried's alleged attempt to discredit former Alameda research executive and his former methamphetamine-ridden ex-girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, by sharing private documents with the New York Times. The FTX founder is accused of taking more than $2 billion in loans and payments from the firm during his time as CEO. Yeah, exactly. And if you want more on that, I think I got a dedicated playlist on YouTube specifically, but all the videos are still up there. Like, this dude is scummy as fuck. Scammed over $2 billion, multiple billions of dollars, by laundering it through FTX, using it to prop up a hedge fund with Alameda Research. Like, it was all just a big scam. Running his accountant, or running his books through, what was it, Quicken or something shit like that. But no. He was going to be the next Jordan Belfort. Didn't realize how apt that comparison would be in the grand scheme of things. But it's just funny. It's funny. The campaign finance charge is the one that gets dropped, because where did all of his donations go? Yeah, exactly. Into the pockets of the most important people that are out there. Nothing funny about this at all, but just bury the story, okay? Oh, we're holding our side accountable. Hunter's plea deal is definitely going down in flames, when in actuality, yeah, they just need an additional month to make the wording a little bit more clear. But hey, take a look. Oh, aliens, and oh, we got him this time. The walls are closing in on the orange man. You guys are fucking sick. We've seen this strategy play out before. Don't let it muddy the waters again. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.